Beware Maria. Maria talks about music, about education, about psychology and art, about sex and gender roles, about meaning and purpose, about things that are fun or interesting and can relate to each other. Maria has conversations with herself and with others, and she finds it a bit odd to talk about herself in the third person. Just beware and think about it. Do you know what is embodiment? Embodiment being in your body, tuning into your body and feeling connected to it. So, sounds simple? Too simple. But what does it mean? It means that you are aware of what your body is feeling. And this last week I've been reading a lot about it. It reminds me, thinking of the disembodiment, if you're watching a movie with a lot of tension or emotion or horror movie and you start to get really tense about it, and maybe it could happen that your hands, it does happen to me, your hands are in a fist and you are clenching your jaw, or your knees are getting inside the palm of your hand and you didn't even realize. This is because you were so much in your head, so much in the movies, so much out there that you're disconnecting from your body. Being disconnected in bigger or smaller amounts is something that we actually can do all the time. Actually, I think that most educational systems are teaching from a disembodied point of view. So embodiment would be the opposite, is the recognition of the fact that you are not your mind, that you are not what happens out there. And you become more embodied as you bring your attention of the mind into your body. Easy to say, but because the mind moves very fast and moves a lot faster than the body, in order to follow the body with your mind, we're going to need to slow down the mind so that the mind and the body can connect. Let's have a chilling song to take this episode with a bit of relaxation, and the song is called Afternoon Tea by Boca Chica, and I like it. Do you like it?
Geraniums for lunch.
There are these parameters, the mind and the body. And some people would even say the mind, the body, and the breath. Even if the breath is something that you do in your body. But when the way you breathe, the rest of your body and your mind are working together, you experience embodiment. Okay, but what's the point of embodiment? What's embodiment for? Because to me, if it's not practical, if it doesn't serve me for something, maybe I'm not so keen. And it is very popular now to talk about embodiment, as some time ago it was to talk about mindfulness, and we still do. I have experienced this, and I think, and I feel, and I breathe, that I find it really, really special and useful and interesting. So one of the most important things that I noticed when I felt embodied is the amount of information that I can get through my body, through my senses, through my skin. I get information about what I feel, even much smaller nuances of the things that I can notice through my senses. And also, yes, the way I can process that sensory information and the way I interpreted it in my brain is, in my experience, more accurate. That if I am not aware of that, or less in my body, when I don't get the chance to interpret anything, or I could interpret it through the filter of being stressed if I don't realize that I am. But if I notice that stress and I'm filtering some experiences through the filter of knowing that I'm stressed, then my interpretation is going to change. If that makes any sense to you. It does make sense to me. So I trust my perception according to the awareness of how I am. Embodiment helps me to communicate better. It helps me also to understand myself better and to understand the world and interpret the world in a way that is more useful to me. So this is what embodiment is. And as you can see, it is linked to cognition. Being able to understand what my body is telling me has been to me a quite late discovery. This is not something I could do, not even 10 years ago. And it's changing my life. It's changing my session. It's changing the way I process the information when I am with others. So it gives me a whole new meaning to many things, the way I understand myself and the world. I've been also doing a little bit of research and looking at the fact that in former times, in the 19th or 18th century, we had a more brain center theory of the self. For example, was it in the 19th century when Frankenstein was written? Okay, I've missed this. Frankenstein by Mary Shelley was written in 1818. Yes, it was in the 19th century. So when it was written, there was this idea of the brain is you and you are your brain. And because they were putting body parts together and sewing them together to create the Frankenstein monster, and the brain was the brain of a criminal, then Frankenstein would be a criminal too. But today we know that other parts of your body also determine your experience and your behavior, and that is not everything about your brain. It is said that your heart has intelligence, and it has intelligence because it has 40,000 neurons apparently in its own independent nervous system. And it has information, and you could probably through that connect with your emotional and intuitive capacities. The heart feelings, love, appreciation, compassion, downregulate the activity of your sympathetic nervous system, the fight or flight, and you're going to feel it in there. When you have a feeling from your heart and you feel that there is something that you know, in Spanish it's called tener una corazonada, which means to have a gut feeling. So in English it goes to a different organ, and the gut would also be an intelligent organ, or a body part that has also prevalence into understanding and filtering out our experiences. Intelligence of the gut. I saw that new studies suggest that our guts are helping us to make good decisions. Like our gut function has memory and is able to guide us in our decision-making process. Listening to your body and being aware of your body is not just going to let you know how your body feels, but you will be better aware of your mood. You will be more aware. Being aware of your mood is important. Sometimes we're angry and we don't realize that we're angry. Or we appreciate someone a lot and we don't want to know. We don't want to realize how much that person is important for us. There's so many things that we try to avoid sometimes. Being aware is going to show us everything. Or at least show us what we want to know and what we are trying to avoid. And any other factors that we can pick up from our background. How we perceive what others are doing, the tone of voice and the movements from others, how we read the body language of other people. We will feel, without being able to give it a rational explanation, that there are people that disclose some kind of movement or expressions, energy that means to us that we don't want to get close to them. There are other people that we just see them or touch them and we feel that we want to know them better, that it's right to be close to them. Without any rational explanation. And without any rational explanation, I want to play a song that's called Hungaria, and I have been listening to it and dancing to it. And it's called, I said it, it's called Hungaria by a group called Lache Swing. Latte Swing is a fantastic group. Looking at it here, they have a website called latteswing.fr. Have a look. This is a group from Normandy. And if you enjoy swing music of this style, go for it. They have a great repertoire. And now back to my theme. Embodiment is awareness, I said before. And with awareness comes choice. So if with awareness comes choice, because if I go on doing things and I don't know very well what exactly I want or what exactly I feel, and I just letting myself, as one says, go with what I think it is expected without really filtering it through what I really want or what I really feel, there's not much choice. I'm not giving myself a choice. When I'm aware of my body and my feelings and my needs, my choice becomes visible. My choices, unless I'm deprived from any choice, but normally I would feel there is choice. Without entering into the discussion of determinism, which would mean we don't have any choice and we just do the only thing we can do, or thinking that we have choice. I rather think we have choice. Because even if there is a possibility that we don't have, or that I don't really know, we have or don't, thinking that I have a choice makes me put a lot more effort and a lot more energy into achieving and into being honest and serious with myself and with my goals. So I'm going to make the choice of deciding that I can have a choice. And awareness helps me to have it. Awareness then allows potentially for freedom or for change or for acceptance once it's there. So there are many, this is not just philosophical, guys. There is a lot of practical applications of this. For example, reduce your stress levels when you're aware of how you're feeling. Self-management and self-regulation goes through awareness. Or discover what you really want where you feel confused. Awareness. And what happens on the other side when you are not embodied? When you don't feel your feelings, and I know how that is because quite a number of years ago I had difficulty into feeling a number of feelings. So you self-harm more easily, or you can have very little or no empathy. Have you ever noticed, I'm sure we all have noticed this at some point, conversations between people where you can hear what people are saying with their words, but their body is saying a complete different thing. And it doesn't match. And it feels so strange. But if you're a child and you are witnessing a conversation of that kind, maybe you would be learning that it is okay to be like that. It is okay to say one thing and express a complete different one. And that we should maybe take the words for what is true and not what we feel and what we realize. That is this embodiment, and we have seen it so many times, I'm sure. And on the other hand, when we are aligned, others can feel it. It is when they say, I can see how this matters to you when you're talking about it. Oh, I can see how beautiful this is. I can notice how much you enjoy it. When I'm connected to my body and I'm expressing something I deeply believe in, my communication is so much more powerful and meaningful. Sometimes in my one-to-one sessions that I deliver, I can get people saying to me, how did you know this about me? Well, I don't. I just perceive, and I have been trained, and I train my body to notice the thing I notice. It is not magic, although it would be a lot more beautiful to say that it is. But it's not. It is just noticing my body, letting my body feel what it tells me about what I have in front of me, and let my mind connect with it. And then, of course, I double check it with the person who is with me to be sure and get their confirmation or not as we work together. So how can I develop this, or how can you develop this? In various ways, so in many ways. There are people saying they're doing it by yoga, by exercising, by dancing, by singing, there is a full range of activities that can help you to develop that embodiment, and they are just vehicles to develop. Now, the fact that you do yoga, exercise, or dancing or singing doesn't mean that necessarily you're going to achieve that embodiment. It is just the way in which you can do it. So if you are doing as a discipline in itself, which is absolutely fine too, the singing, dancing, you can learn a lot of singing and a lot of dancing, but it's not necessarily going to take you there. But if you can do it in an embodied way, and not just in a mindful way, but having really the body into consideration, this is what works for me, and what I see it works for many others. It's more to me about bringing your attention to it. And my personal tip, which works for me, is to do that in small amounts, different times of the day. Instead of saying, I'm going to be dancing from here to here for 1 hour, or this is my discipline. It's just little, bringing the attention back during the entire day and making it a way of living. More than something that I do from 6 to 7. Our emotions live in our body. And for me, I think it was in the year around 2003, 2004, discovering primal singing was a great way to feel my voice and my emotions inside my body. When I was receiving gestaltic therapy, my therapist asked me, what do you feel about something, that I could not reply because I was feeling nothing. I was numb. Couldn't notice anything. And in my case, because of my singing training, I found it easier to connect with my body through songs with an intention. And that intention was linked to those parts of me that were still strange to myself and I was unaware of. Doing more singing practice of improvised vocalization, that I was feeling free in the body and putting some intention of what did I want to explore. Could be a theme, could be an idea that I was not clear about, could be a dichotomy, it could be something that I've been asked that I'm not clear about the answer. And letting my voice flow about it made me quite, I wouldn't say totally easily, it took a little bit of practice, but a lot easier than what it would have been just by asking me questions. Be able to make that connections and understand myself a lot better and want to do something beautiful about it later on, which was teach that to other people in an artistic way or as a way for self-exploration. For which I had to develop activities and exercise to support people into connecting with their own body and emotions through the voice. And this is something I would like to talk about another day. Today, we are about to finish, and I want to leave you with a song by Derek Clegg called Body is Perfect. Derek is a musician from Michigan that lives in Chicago, and you can check his Facebook page under the name of Derek Clegg. Which can sound obvious, but yes, he's Derek Clegg and he's got a Facebook page to his name. I hope you have enjoyed this episode. And if you decide to get hands-on and body-on and legs-on into it, I totally recommend it. You will get palpable results. And if there is anything else that you would like me to talk about, write to me to bewharemaria@gmail.com, and I'll be happy to read your suggestions and see what I can do for you. And equally, if it's not a suggestion, but it's a comment or something you would like to ask me, or something you have written that you would like me to read, send things my way. I'll be more than happy to receive them. Have a good week, and I see you in the next episode.
I'm not saying that the body is perfect. I'm not saying that your mind is gone. I'm not saying that the body is perfect. Take me away and never be wrong. Mind is here, I can't stay, but I want to clear all those things when I go. I can only stay when the body is perfect. And I'm not saying that the body is perfect. I'm not saying that your will is gone. And I'm not saying that the body is perfect. Take my hand, I hope you come. And oh my God, I found a way through the wilderness. I never knew when I go in alone with the way, and the body is perfect. And so go it alone, mother, mother. So go it alone, father, father. So go it alone, you can bother. So go it alone, mother, mother. And I'm not saying that the body is perfect.